Welcome back, viewers. I'm here in the Bomb 2 bowling alley. Finally got her to offer up the heart piece as the prize, so let's see if we can't get it. That's rather a little bit too far. How about... Come on. Get in there. Yes. Let's see if I did it right. Come on. Damn it. Oh, God. That's how you're supposed to do it, viewers. Because the chicken doesn't move immediately, and it will usually always start off on the right. You can just barely avoid it. No thank you, you stupid whore. So there we go, I got the fucking heart piece from this hoe. And that is everything I wanted to take care of on the child side of this Let's Play. Now to get into the real meat of the matter. Time to turn it into the B button bound run. So here we are, in the Temple of Time. Now I'm gonna give a little trivia here, viewers. There was a add-on for the N64 called the Double D or something like that, and it was one of the things that was going to be in it. It was basically a disk drive for the N64 or something like that. But one of the things that was going to be with it is add expansions onto already made games, such as Ocarina of Time. It was actually going to add in three all-new dungeons to this game. But unfortunately, it got scrapped. And now it's just lost to the annals of time. So, viewers, speaking of time, let's go claim the Sword of Time. No, correction, it's the Master Sword, but it's the sword that holds lock on time. I don't know. What is it? Actually, I do know. It's a fucking Master Sword. I already said that. It's the legendary blade. The Master Sword. So let's grab it. And we just fucked up. We just fucked up big time. Meet Raru, the Sage of the Light Temple, which does not exist in this game. In the expansion, the Temple of Light was actually going to be a middle timeline from what I've heard, where you could go and basically you would have 3 different times. You could travel to young Link, adult Link, and I guess teenage years Link, and the middle one was where the end game would be or something like that. And now we are adult Link. Really? I didn't notice. So, in other words, basically we've been in a coma for 7 years, while waiting for the body to age enough to be able to wield the sword. I guess that makes just about as much sense as anything else. I mean, this is the Nintendo universe after all. But in that 7-year span, Ganon has taken over Hyrule. And as I stated earlier, Rauru is the Sage of the Light Temple, which does not exist in this game. Another one of the temples that doesn't exist in this game is the Wind Temple, which you can kind of see remnants of it in the Forest Temple's medallion. Yes, now we have to collect medallions. And we just get one automatically. The rest of them we gotta get through trials and tribulations. So now we've got the Medallion of Light. And we have been transported back to the Temple of Time. You know, if we get the ability to go back and forth through time, why not just age us 7 years and plop us back in the childhood portion of it? We could just then go out and murder Ganon while he hasn't rose to power. And ninja attack. Well, hey there, Zelda. I mean, Sheik. I actually really like Sheik's theme. One deep in the forest, one high in the mountain, one under a vast lake, one within the house of the dead. Ooh, I get to go around headshotting things and blood will spurt everywhere? Oh yeah, another one's in the, sands. Can't forget that one. He is Sheik, savior of the Sheikans. How do you know what the legendary hero looks like when it's only been foretold in a prophecy, basically? Before y'all say anything, viewers, yes, I know about the great hero Gustav and all that fun stuff. I'm just pointing out something here. But the great hero Gustav was not the hero of time. I guess so. And now, Sheik bars our way from going into the past from here on out. We cannot go back to the past until we have at least visited the first three dungeons. You don't technically have to go through the entirety of the first three dungeons, but you do at least have to have visited it. Now then, something quick of note, viewers, you'll notice some items have been blacked out. These are for kids' use only, therefore Link here cannot use them. Items such as the Deku Stick, the Slingshot, and the Boomerang, and the Mask cannot be used as adult Link. Therefore, I'm pretty much stuck, for the time being, with these three items, and the two magic powers. But only one will really work, so I'm going to go on and equip Din's Fire there, and head on over to Lon Lon Ranch, because, as everyone knows, when the world is in peril, the best thing to do is side quest. Now, this is where the main difficulty of this Let's Play is going to be. Because this is a B-button bound run, therefore I will not be using the sword, I'm going to have to try and kill the bosses an alternate way, unless their weakness specifically is the sword. So, this is going to be a little difficult. Because of this, I'm actually going to be taking on the Goron Temple first, not the Goron Temple, the Death Mountain Temple first, so that way I can obtain a comparable item to the sword. But things that have to come first, we want to come on over here to Lon Lon Ranch, because traversing around on foot is going to be a major pain in the ass. Lon Lon Ranch has gone through some management changes over the 7 years. In other words, Ingo kicked Talon out and took over the ranch. Sure. Now then, it'll cost 10 rupees to ride. I already know how to ride, I just wanted to go on and get that out of the way. It'll cost 10 rupees to choose and ride a horse. You want to go on and, of course, play the Epona song. You cannot get Epona until you know the song and take her for a ride. Because Epona will not appear in this area until you do so. Now then, you just want to ride around a little bit. Now, if you go through and jump over these gates enough times, you can eventually pick up the 10 rupees you had to use to get over the, that you had to use to ride the horses. See, there's one. And there's the second. And when you get down to less than 10 seconds, you want to come on over and speak to this guy. No, I want to ride. Now then. You just gotta keep basically coming back and riding Epona enough times, and eventually you'll say, hey, you're pretty good at this, want a race? So, back in we go. But you have to make sure you're doing this with Epona. It's a little specific, I never figured this out as a kid, but now that I know about it, it does make a bit of sense. And the 10 rupee charge, even if you don't have the Giant's wallet like I do, it's not all that much. You can't go back to the old grind spot, but it's still not all that much. And once again, like I said, if you just keep going over these fences enough times, you'll eventually get the 10 rupees that you used to get in back. You just want to keep doing this over and over. I'm not sure exactly how many times you have to do this, but at a certain amount of times you do this, he'll basically go, hey, you're pretty good at this when you talk to him. Ah, you're getting better. How about a little race with me? One lap. Around the, coral? Do you mean course? Or stable? I think he's having a... I got it. Epona kicked him in the head and now he had a seizure. Anyways, 50 rupees to race him, which I've got plenty to do so. And this is a easy race to win. He may get ahead of you briefly, but just hang along the inner ring. Just race around the inner ring. Make sure to leave just one carrot left, and you'll be good. Once you get near the end, just go on and use it one more time, and yeah, you're guaranteed to win. How about another race? If you win, you can keep the horse. And this time he forces you into the race. You don't have to say yes or no. And it is pretty much the same exact thing. He'll get in front of you briefly. He takes the same exact path that he did last time, only he'll be a little bit more... He'll be smacking his ass a little bit more often than the last race. You want to definitely make sure you save that one carrot until that last turn. But, there we go. Yes it is. I don't know, I just came here and played the song. Now, most people say the only way out is to ride over there and jump over one of the side fences. However, I like this idea better. Damn it. It's kind of hard to do it, but you can jump over this fence. You get the same cutscene that you would if you jumped over one of the other fences. But I like this one a little bit more. There we go. That's because I'm jumping right next to him and he just watches me do it. But viewers, now we have Epona. This will make traversing around Hyrule Field much, much quicker. Now then, we're heading over to Kakariko Village because I want to get one more thing before ending this episode off. A little side note, viewers, never try to boost over a bridge. Epona does not like it. So we need to get over here to Kakariko Village. I'll be back to you in a little bit, Miss Epona. All three of the first dungeons, you do not need the item from any of the other dungeons in order to do things in it. But basically, viewers, you only need one item to get into any of the given first three dungeons, whether it be the Death Mountain Temple, the Forest Temple, or the Water Temple, which, by the way, I know, blasphemy, but I like the Water Temple. But, You only need one item, and you get it from the graveyard. The graveyard is absolutely riddled with Poes, but Poes are not all that hard to avoid. Drop down in here. And we see the ghost of Dumpy the Gravekeeper. This is just like the Deku Butler side quest in Majora's Mask, only a little bit harder because he actually throws fire at you. So you gotta be kind of careful about... this. Because, you could round a corner and run directly into fire, and it will always be in the middle of the pathway, unless he's rounding a corner. Now then, he takes this convoluted path, but it all pretty well much ends up into the same area. For some reason, this area is close to Re-Dead, because you can hear them. I always found that a little weird. Now, this is the key part that likens it to the Deku Butler side quest, because he slows down as you get further away from him and speeds up if you get closer. But it's a little easy. 1 minute and 5 seconds. Young man, you were quite quick. As a reward, he gives us his prized possession, the hookshot. It's a spring-loaded chain. Yeah. Basically, we can zip across the map now if we can hook a shot onto something. So let's pick up our new item. This hookshot is gonna basically be my replacement for the slingshot. Now I have something that will be able to deal damage and stun enemies like the slingshot used to be able to do in the boomerang. This is basically a boomerang slingshot combo. It can stun enemies and damage enemies as well. So this is going to be one of my perma items. Now whenever you see an item, a box with that signia on it, play the Song of Time and it will either disappear, move, or in some cases where Navi is just kind of floating there, one will appear. As to where the ones that disappear go and the ones that appear came from, I have no clue. All I do know is we're in the windmill of Kakariko Village, where we pick up a heart piece. And before we leave, hey buddy! Wow, he's mad. You are pissed! Hey, let's play a song together. You know, you inadvertently are teaching me the song that pisses you off so much, and thus making me go back in time later and play the song that pisses you off so much. Time paradox. And so we learned the Song of Storms. Now we have all of the non-colored songs. What I mean by this is, if you come over to this screen, you'll notice that we've got 2 lines of songs. These ones on the bottom will be color-coded to teleport you to each of the dungeon areas. These one on top, on the other hand, do not. Now when you play the Song of Storm, this speeds up and you can just kind of run for eternity. I find that kind of entertaining. So viewers, Yeehaw! Oops. I wanted to backflip off of that, but apparently it did not work. Now, most people think you have to have the hover boots in order to make it across the way over there. You actually do not. Also, since Hyrule Castle was destroyed, a lot of the minigames were brought over here, such as the shooting gallery. However, we do not have a bow and arrow, so we cannot do that. Instead, let's head on up to Goron Village and get set up for the dungeon. Because we cannot naturally survive in the Death Mountain. There is actually a heart piece I could have gotten in Death Mountain as a kid, but I decided not to do so. We gotta contend with these boulders rolling around, but that's not all that hard to do. There is a thing that y'all may have noticed that I skipped over. I didn't miss it, I skipped over it. That, you go to Hyrule Lake and there's a guy eating magic beans. You can buy a total of 10 magic beans from the guy and plant them all around Hyrule to get heart pieces. The heart piece that I picked up above the Dodongo Caverns was one of them. All of the places where you plant these magic beans will also have Skulltulas in them. So before you plant the magic bean, make sure that you make sure that you have make sure that you have gotten the golden Skulltulas from that plot of land. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Now then, if you come in here after blowing up the walls, you'll see this guy, who, if you talk to him, will give you a defective Big Goron sword. I say defective because... oh, there he is. I say defective because... oh, you're a cocksucker. Anyways, I say defective because they break after a certain amount of hits. And you'd have to come back and pay another 200 rupees in order to... oh, god damn it. You'd have to come back and pay another 200 rupees in order to get a new one. I will be doing the Big Goron Sword side quest, by the way, viewers. God, this thing does not want... you actually do need to stop this guy. And the only way to do that is to blow him up with a bomb. There we go. Got him. No, I'm Rage, hero of the Goron. The legendary Dodongo Buster. That sounds like an overpowered laser-based weapon. Yeah, I remember... what's his name? I don't have a pen. Ask him about the Gorons. Yeah, so you actually can't ask him about the Gorons until you talk about the dragon. The dragon's name is Volvagia. Apparently it's very scary. Anyways, once you ask him about the dragons, you can actually ask him about the Gorons now. And for doing that, we get a heat-resistant tunic, the Goron tunic. Now, we could not actually purchase one before now, because if you tried to buy one in the past from the Goron guy down here, he will basically say you cannot buy this at this, or you cannot buy it at this time, even though you've got the 200 rupees in order to buy it. Now then, if you come in here, you'll notice that there is this that you can grab and pull. Go on and do so, because we need to come on in. Welcome to Death Mountain Crater, where, if you are not wearing the tunic, Navi will immediately chime in and go, "Holy fuck balls, it's hot in here," and bring up a timer. That timer counts down to the time that you die. Speaking of dying, oops. Now then, yeehaw, missed. Okay, enough trying to jump across it. I knew you couldn't, I just like torturing Link. However, getting across can be kind of annoying because of the short hookshot. There are two hookshots in the game. Long shot is the upgraded version, and that one you can just hookshot all the way across the map practically. So, we will listen to the Bellario of Fire. Or Bolrio, or Boliro, I don't fucking know. And so we have learned the first of the teleportating song. Teleportating! Teleportating! Ha 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 ha! Mispronunciations for the win! Anyways, we learned the Bellario of Fire. And I'm just going to keep calling it the Bellario of Fire, because this is being recorded way in the past, and if I have pronounced it wrong, then you can go on and post it in the comments of how it's properly pronounced. And so, viewers, with this, I will go on and see y'all next time for when we start this dungeon. Yeehaw! Ah! Yeah, if you got a ladder in front of you, you can grab it. Anyways, we'll see y'all next time. See ya!